The early stages of reading where your child is blending can often be quite frustrating for both parents and children. What will happen is your child will be sounding out every single sound in every single word, meaning they don't understand what they've read because there's no fluency. This can be quite boring for both parents and children. The key thing to remember here is that reading every night doesn't mean reading a whole book every night. What you can do is you can alternate between reading the book and playing games and doing activities linked to reading, specifically focusing on blending. This will prevent the reading battle where every night you're trying to get your child to read that same book and they don't want to because they're not enjoying it. I'm going to give you a few activities that you can do at home with your child to support blending that don't involve reading the story. So tip number 1 is oral blending. Oral blending is vital because if your child can't hear the blend, they can't read the blend. So my first activity you can do to support blending at home is to do oral blending. And oral blending is important because if children can't hear the blend, they won't be able to read the blend. So what you might do, first thing in the morning, you're getting ready for school, it's really busy. You're going to say to your child, can you go and get your b-a-g? See if they can hear that that's the word bag and then go and get it. You can also do this in the evening if they're helping you set the dinner table, or you might just want them to go and get items from around the house. And you can even do this when out shopping. So you might send your child to go and get the b-a-t-er and see if they can hear that it's butter. So that's a really nice game to do because it's just so easy to fit into a busy schedule and it's the key to being able to blend. The next activity you're going to have a go at is segmenting. So segmenting is where you pull apart the word to hear the different sounds. If children can segment, they can often blend far easier. So again, if you just want it to fit into a busy schedule, you might be walking down the road and see a dog and you might say to your child, "Dog, what sounds can you hear in that word?" They might be able to tell you, but if they can't, it's okay to model to them. Dog. Dog, d-og, d-og, dog. And just see if you can keep asking your child to segment different words and see if they can hear the sounds, because that's really important too. Very low stakes because your child is not going to realise you're helping them to read. To actually practice blending, what you can do is select some words from the story that you're focusing on and just practice those words one evening. So you might choose the word cat, and what you're going to do is you're going to write that word out. You might want to put each letter on post-it notes, or you might want to just write it as the whole word, that's fine. But you're going to get your child to practice reading every sound by putting their finger underneath it. So with cat, you're going to ask your child to say k-a-t, k-a-t. Now it's very important that your child knows the sounds very well from the word you've chosen. If they don't know one of the sounds, that's not going to help with blending. So please choose sounds that they are really confident with. So once they've had a go at doing the sound buttons and they've done it a few times, now you're going to move to a more sweeping motion to see if you can blend those sounds together. K-a-t, 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 cat. And that's going to help them to blend. So those are the strategies that we tend to use in school. So the next thing you're going to want to do is help your child to be able to blend in their head. So choose the words that you've been practicing, the ones that you've orally blended, the ones that you've segmented, the ones where you've added the sound button and then you've done the sweeping motion to read them. Once your child knows them, you're going to want to display those words. And that's where you play games linked to them. So you might have the word dog, cat and written down, and you say to them, splat the word cat. That's a fun game to play. And again, they don't really realise that they're reading because it feels like a game. And sometimes they can ask you to splat the word because children love being the teacher. Once you've practiced the blending with your child, there are so many activities you can play to help your child remember those words by sight. And that can be, just like I've said, splat the word. It could be a game of snap. It can be the memory game. You can hide the words around the house and ask your child to find them. There are so many different activities, but it just keeps things fresh every night, so you're not just reading. Now, obviously, reading the actual book is also very important. I'm not saying it's not, but just try to mix it up a bit and do a range of different things each evening. If you want further information, DM me Reader and follow me on Instagram at Colleen's Classroom Tuition.